So you're in a relationship. How did you meet this man?
It wasn't a DM thing. I could feel the vibe that he liked me, but he never approached me. But I always heard like he was into me. He was very respectful and stuff like that. I was like, no matter how much times you go to the club and think that this is gonna distract you, you know what you have to do to move on. And we just talked. We got to know each other. We wasn't doing too much though. It got to the point that it was like, damn, we talked for hours.
Are you entering your WAG era? Are you gonna be at the games?
Yeah.
You think you'll go on the field?
I don't know.
Was it tough for you to date again?
It's definitely tough dating in your 30s. I never really been a dating person. I've always been in long relationships since I was like 21.
With Stefan, how has he inspired you?
I will never complain about my job because he has to do two different things. Not only do you have to study, you also have to get physical. And you have to be in bed at a certain time. You're literally in the military. I work hard, but you like really work hard. I don't really have a sleep schedule. I don't even like to map out my day.
All right. You've got a new man. Are the sparks sparking?
Sparkling, honey. 4th of July.
How did you guys meet? Did you reach out to him?
No, you're not supposed to reach out to a man. It was like mutual friends. I thought he was cute. I was like, oh, you gotta be mine.
Are you a football fan now?
Yeah, I'm a football fan, honey. I be in the screen on Sunday every day cursing people out. Pass the ball!
So have you gotten to go and watch him?
Not yet, because I've been preparing for my album. After this whole album thing, I'm going to every single game. Every single one of them. But
that is interesting, right? Because you're raising your kids in a mansion, right? In Jersey, but you grew up in the Bronx. How do you make sure they don't grow up spoiled? Because that's what I be trying to focus on.
they spoil. I ain't gonna lie.
And it's not even that they spoil, they don't know nothing else.
Yeah. They don't know nothing else.
Yeah.
But they do, as you know what I noticed? As long as they with their cousin, they don't care where they at. Because when they be in my grandma's house, or like when they was in DR, in the country, they I kept calling like, are you guys okay? They was, as long as they with their cousin, kids are okay. They just gotta be with their cousins. That's the trick. They gotta be with their cousins. They're gonna have a good time anywhere. As long as their cousins is around, their friends around. I could literally do a song, right? I would literally do a song. No, the song isn't that. I would take like a week or 2 weeks to just finish the song because I hate my accent so much now. Now that I hear it.
They say fame is power, but sometimes fame is also pressure. And pressure, that's where stories explode. So let's talk about what allegedly went down during one of the biggest TV nights of the year. Because this story isn't just about comedy, music, or backstage drama. It's about pride, power, and how celebrity beef can follow you even when you're just trying to do your job. So here's the situation. On one of television's biggest stages, Saturday Night Live was celebrating its 1000th episode, and one of the musical guests that night was none other than Cardi B. Now, being an SNL musical guest is already a big deal, but being part of a historic episode, that's career-defining territory. The vibe was supposed to be celebration, legacy, prestige, but according to multiple entertainment reports, things allegedly got tense backstage. Because while Cardi B was getting ready for her performance, she allegedly overheard writers and cast members rehearsing a Weekend Update joke. And the joke wasn't about her, it was about her longtime rival, Nicki Minaj. And that's where things allegedly shifted. Because even though Cardi B wasn't the target of the joke, hearing Nicki's name allegedly triggered an emotional reaction. Reports claim she became upset, threw her phone toward a monitor, and later allegedly punched a television screen in a producer's room until the screen broke. Now think about that for a second. You're on one of the biggest nights of your career. Millions of people are watching. Your album promotion is rolling. Your tour momentum is building. And then, suddenly, backstage drama threatens to overshadow everything. But what happened next was just as interesting. Because despite the alleged chaos, Cardi B still went out on stage. She performed, she acted in sketches, she kept the professional face on like nothing happened. And that contrast is what made this story spread online like wildfire. Because celebrities are expected to be flawless performers, even when their emotions are anything but flawless behind closed doors. And here's where the media narrative gets even more interesting. According to follow-up reporting, SNL sources claimed there were no hard feelings toward Cardi B. The narrative was basically that she was having a bad night, not a career-ending meltdown, not some permanent conflict with the show. just a moment of emotional overload. But here's the power angle that people started talking about online. If you can allegedly throw your phone, damage equipment, threaten to walk off the show, and still get invited back, that means something in the industry. It means you're commercially valuable. Because television networks don't just forgive behavior, they forgive revenue disruption when the revenue is big enough to justify it. And that's where fans started debating something deeper. Was this about emotional reaction, or was this about control over narrative power? Because the beef between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj isn't new. It dates back to around 2017, when competition in female rap started becoming more public, more personal, and more aggressive in social media spaces. What started as competitive tension turned into physical confrontation rumors, public insults, and industry-side division between fan bases. But things escalated dramatically during Fashion Week in 2018, when reports surfaced of a physical altercation between the two camps. Footage and eyewitness accounts circulated online, making the rivalry feel less like industry competition and more like personal warfare. And since then, the tension has never fully disappeared. Fans keep watching for signs of peace, but peace never really seems to arrive. Because in modern rap culture, beef can actually help careers grow. That's something critics of celebrity culture often point out. Conflict keeps names trending. Trending keeps streaming numbers rising. Streaming numbers drive tour sales. And tour sales? That's where artists really make their money. Which brings us to the social media response after the SNL story broke. Cardi B later responded in classic Cardi B fashion. She posted a tweet basically telling people to let rumors live their life. Let them talk. Let them speculate. But she never directly denied the story. And that's where internet detectives started analyzing her wording. Because in celebrity culture, silence sometimes speaks louder than denial. Some fans said the story was overblown media drama. Others said it sounded believable based on Cardi B's history of public emotional reactions during conflicts with other artists. People also started comparing this story to past controversies involving Cardi B and other female artists. Some critics brought up past threats and public arguments involving younger artists entering the rap industry. Others argued that female rappers face harsher scrutiny than male rappers when emotional reactions are involved. Because if a male artist destroyed equipment backstage, people might call it rock star behavior. But when a female artist does it, the conversation shifts toward emotional control, professionalism, and public perception of anger. And that sparked a much larger cultural debate online. Some people argued that this was another example of media bias toward Black female artists. They said stories like this get amplified because controversy sells. Others said it was simply accountability culture. That fame shouldn't excuse destructive behavior regardless of gender or race. But the internet rarely agrees on anything. Meanwhile, Cardi B's career momentum didn't slow down. In fact, some observers argued that controversy actually boosted visibility around her tour performances. Because whether you love her or hate her, people are still watching. And that's the uncomfortable truth about modern celebrity marketing. Any publicity can be good publicity if it keeps your name in conversations. And Nicki Minaj's presence in this story is also important, even though she wasn't directly involved, because their rivalry represents something bigger than just two artists. It represents two different cultural eras of female rap dominance. Nicki represented the earlier global pop rap crossover era. Cardi B represents the newer social media-driven authenticity branding era. And fans often pick sides based on which style of artistry they prefer. Some want polished performance dominance. Others want raw, street-level storytelling energy. And when those two philosophies collide, the fan wars get loud. But here's where things get even more layered. Some online commentators questioned why this story surfaced weeks after the alleged incident instead of immediately. They speculated about timing. Was this story released to generate attention during a promotional cycle? Was it meant to revive discussion around industry power dynamics? Or was it simply late reporting? Because in entertainment journalism, timing is often just as important as the story itself. People also pointed out that Cardi B has been performing heavily on tour recently. Every viral headline helps keep her name circulating across social platforms. And in modern music marketing, staying culturally relevant can sometimes matter more than dropping new music constantly, because attention is currency. And Cardi B has proven multiple times that she knows how to stay in the attention economy. Now, let's talk about the emotional side of this story. Because if the reports are true, this wasn't just about music or business. It was about identity, pride, and long-term industry tension. Rivalries in entertainment often become psychological as much as professional. And people started asking a simple question online: how deep does this rivalry really go? Is it still about music competition, or is it something more personal now? Because based on public interviews, social media posts, and past confrontations, neither side seems fully ready to declare peace. And that keeps fans invested, because unresolved conflict is storytelling gold. But here's the final twist in this story. Whether you believe the TMZ reports or not, the story itself accomplished something important. It kept both artists in conversation. And in modern celebrity culture, staying relevant sometimes matters more than staying controversy-free. So here's the real question for you watching this video. Do you think this was just a bad night backstage, or do you think this was part of something much bigger? A long-running power battle playing out in public view? Because in entertainment, the music might be loud, but sometimes the drama behind the scenes is even louder. And that's where this story gets really interesting. If you made it this far, you already know the drill. Drop your thoughts below. Do you think the story is true? Do you think media exaggerates celebrity drama for clicks? Or do you think this is just another chapter in one of rap's longest rivalries? Mark in if you want more deep dives that go beyond surface headlines and actually unpack what's really going on in entertainment culture, hit that subscribe button. Because in influencer culture, the posts are polished. But the truth? It's usually more complicated than the filter. At the end of the day, celebrity stories move fast. One day it's drama, the next day it's forgotten. But the power dynamics, the rivalries, and the business behind the music, those stories keep unfolding whether we're paying attention or not. So the real question isn't just what happened backstage, it's what these moments tell us about fame, competition, and how attention shapes modern culture. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't just watch and leave. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think this was real backstage tension? Or just another media story designed to keep the conversation alive? Hit like if you want more stories like this. Subscribe so you never miss the next deep dive. And until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and don't believe every headline you see without digging deeper. I'll see you in the next one.